Hello everyone, welcome to Metro Matters. I'm Mary Sitt. Imagine going to a bus stop and knowing that every 15 minutes a bus will come. No more weekday versus weekend schedules, no more trying to decipher a timetable. Every 15 minutes or better, a bus shows up. Well, Metro is redesigning its bus routes to make our system easier and more convenient. This huge project is called System Reimagining, and here to tell us more is Kurt Luhrsen, Vice President of Planning. Okay, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Kurt, what exactly is System Reimagining?
System Reimagining is our opportunity to rethink how our local bus network has been put together. Metro has grown enormously in the 30 years that we've been in existence. We've added routes over time, we've taken away some routes, but nothing has really been looked at comprehensively as a system. So this is our first real opportunity to take a look at the entire system and see how it all fits together and make sure it's working correctly.
So is our current network sort of like a cow path, all over the place, and this is the first time we're really just stripping it and starting over again?
Yeah, when our network was originally built, it was based off of sort of the original streetcar network that was here in Houston back in the 1920s. Everything was sort of based on downtown. So if you wanted to go anywhere in the system, you had to take a trolley downtown and then later a bus downtown to make your connection and then travel somewhere else to do that. So we have taken this opportunity to look at where people are going. Houston's grown tremendously. We have 8 or 9 different major activity centers that are outside of downtown. The Texas Medical Center is by itself a major destination that would be, I think, the 7th or 8th largest downtown in the country all by itself.
The size of Akron, Ohio, I remember that.
It is very large. A lot of people go and visit it every day. We carry a lot of people in and out of there, both on buses and on our trains. So our goal is to make people's trips faster and more efficient so they can get to more places quicker and have time to do other things.
Kurt, you mentioned job centers and population density. What does it look like now? Like, where do most of the people in Houston live now? And then you also are a planner, so you get to project where will most people live in 20 years and where will the job centers be? And is this System Reimagining planning for the future or the present, or both?
It is planning for the present and the future. 30 years ago, downtown was really the center of Houston. Sort of half of the jobs and half the populations lied to the east of downtown and half to the west. Now that center of gravity has really moved west and is sort of centered on the Galleria area now. And our network doesn't really reflect that. Still, a majority of our bus services go downtown in what we call a radial network. So we're looking to modify that into more of a grid so that when you have to go to the Energy Corridor or to Greenway or to Uptown, you don't have to ride a bus into downtown to transfer and then go back, that you can make a simple connection on the grid.
So you have a lot of competing factors where you want to provide the best, most efficient service to the most people at the same time that those spots are going to be moving around the city, right? You expect it to move different places, so what are you doing? How do you manage all that?
Right. The important point that we're trying to do is to put together a frequent grid of services so that you can get from one destination or from one point to another point quicker. Right now, as I said, most trips go into downtown. Right. But as the metropolitan area grows and you want to be able to get to destinations that are not in downtown, your ability to get there on frequent crosstown services, routes that are running east-west that are not going through downtown, that are connecting like to the North Line extension of the Red Line, are very important. And that really cuts down on people's travel times and gives them the opportunity to get to more places in the same amount of time.
So let's talk about the frequent network, dubbed the Red Network, right? That's the good one. Is that where most of the riders will be, and it's going to be every 15 minutes a bus? Right.
The frequent network is designed to be 15 minutes or better. Okay. All day long, Monday through Friday, and the big addition is on Saturday and Sunday. We don't run a lot of our services on Saturday and Sunday, so our network right now, we have about 8 routes that we would classify as frequent all-day services on weekdays. That number shrinks to about 4 on Saturday and just 2 on Sunday. So we're looking to put together this group of about 20 to 25 frequent routes that operate 15 minutes a day at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday and also at 1 p.m. on a Saturday and on a Sunday as well. Because what we found, if a lot of people are not able to make trips using transit on the weekend, they find a way to buy a car and they don't make those weekday trips as well.
And will these 20 routes affect 80% of the riders, or how does that work?
Almost every bus route will be changed as part of this. Now, some of them might simply get a new route number, but almost all of our routes will change in some way. First of all, we're opening 3 new rail lines. We've already opened one, 2 more are coming later this year. That is a huge advantage to our customers to be able to ride those services. They run very frequent, 7 days a week, late into the evening, and they're very reliable because they're trains and they're in their own right-of-way. So we're reorienting the bus system in those communities to connect with those trains, to get folks there as quickly as possible so that they can make that reliable connection and get to their jobs, their businesses, their schools.
Okay, Kurt, we need to take a short break right now, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll give you more details of System Reimagining and how you can offer your ideas. Stay with us.
We're powering possibilities, and in Houston, we are moving at the speed of light.
It's a beautiful day for soccer here at Robertson Stadium. The grass is green, the crowd is wild, and the Dynamo are tied. Oduro passes to Kamara. He shoots. Oh, no! Wow, someone get her an agent. That is some abuelita.
Choose your route in life. Ride Metro.
We've been talking to Kurt Luhrsen, Vice President of Planning, about System Reimagining, an ambitious project in which Metro is redrawing its routes from scratch to make the whole system more efficient. Kurt, we talked about the frequent network, the red network. Buses every 15 minutes. You don't even have to consult your little timetable or your smartphone to figure out when the next bus arrives because it's going to be there. But you also have something that you're working on, a very innovative sort of shuttle service. Can you tell me about that in neighborhoods?
Sure. In some of our neighborhoods, they suffer from a lack of street connectivity. The sidewalks don't exist or are very patchy. And they also tend to be neighborhoods where we have a lot of our older customers live and their mobility is slowly declining over time. So we're looking at what we're terming flex zones right now. Mm-hmm. These are our neighborhood shuttles that will be assigned a particular area, and they will be a shuttle that will be assigned to that particular neighborhood. They will operate within that zone. People have the opportunity to call in to a toll-free number and schedule a pickup at their curb that will take them anywhere within that zone. So if there's shopping within that zone, there are churches in that school, if there are churches in that zone or a school, it will take them anywhere in that zone for the same price as a local bus ride. Or it will take them to the nearest major connection point. Now that might be where 2 busy routes transfer. It might also be a transit center where they can access the rest of the transit network and connect on to get to other places.
So people can schedule a pickup. Can they just flag a shuttle down, or how does that, or do they have to schedule it?
They will have to be scheduled if they are not at the transit center or major connection point. So these shuttles operate generally once an hour. The shuttle will show up at the major transfer point. So if you're coming in from another route and you're connecting, you don't need to call and make a reservation there. You know that the bus will be at that point.
That sounds pretty nice. If you live in that neighborhood, you can get shuttle, curbside service to exactly where you need to go.
It will be I think a lot of people will find that it will be very convenient. It will take some time to get people used to it. So there will be a public outreach effort and an education campaign to be able to teach people how to use this. DART up in Dallas has done 8 or 10 of these different routes. Again, sort of at their periphery as well in similar neighborhoods.
And it's worked well for them?
And it has worked well for them, and the neighborhoods have responded very favorably.
So Kurt, we're reallocating resources, making this grid, trying to make the system more efficient, but there will still be some people who ride the buses who will not benefit from this. I mean, their service will actually get worse instead of better. Is that right?
That is true. What this plan is to reallocate our existing resources. We're not looking to buy more buses or run additional hours of service. What we're looking to do is reallocate that to hopefully, per our board's guidance, to increase ridership over time. Our goal is to actually increase ridership by 20% over the first 2 years that the plan is implemented. So some neighborhoods who might have service every 20 minutes or every 30 minutes now, they might not be filling those buses up. We run typically 40-foot buses through neighborhoods now, and where you have 2 or 3 people on a bus, that's not very efficient, it's not very good for the environment. So we'll be looking at providing, as I said, some of these flex zones and different types of service that might operate once an hour or every 45 minutes, and they will have to connect into the network at a major transfer point or a transit center. So we're really looking to match the demand for service in different neighborhoods with what the supply is.
Now, what does the community have to say about all these changes? Are you getting input from the community in the different neighborhoods?
Our board has been very explicit that we produce a draft plan and then we spend a significant amount of time going out and getting the public's feedback.
So when can the public actually see some changes if this is adopted by the board?
Right. If the board adopts this in September of 2014, we will immediately go into implementation mode. So as I said, almost every local route in our system will change. So that's approximately 90 bus routes. All of the route maps, all of the schedules need to be changed. That's a massive undertaking for many different departments within Metro. It also takes a long time to train our operators, train our customer service representatives who answer phone calls and answer questions from the public. And be ready to make a change of that magnitude. So we're targeting right now our service change in June of 2015. So approximately 9 months later, we're looking to roll out the new reimagining network.
I mean, the entire network be rolled out at once, not just these
We're
routes
looking
would change.
we're looking to do some early implementation things, maybe in January of 2015.
Sort of a soft rollout.
But so many of the changes are linked to one another. If you change one bus route, it impacts a number of other bus routes, and you really don't have the benefits of this frequent network and this grid that we're proposing until the whole network is in. So we are looking to do a small number of things, as I said, in January. But we'll really be focused on the June timeframe.
Of 2015.
Of 2015, because we've also got that exciting 2 new rail lines opening.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
In the meantime
and it all
as
integrates,
well.
right?
And it has to all integrate the bus and the rail together, yes.
Okay, sounds very exciting.
It's a very exciting time for us in the community, yes.
Thank you so much, Kurt, for being with us.
My pleasure.
That's all for this edition of Metro Matters. Until next time, join the conversation on the blog, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for joining us.